welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Ellingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
For just a split second there, you weren't sure if you were Nelson Ellingham.
I forgot that I've actually taken Nelson Ellingham's identity.
Oh, of course.
I almost said, but my real name is Nelson. So that part I was confident with. So I was like, Nelson. I was going to say.
Don't say Stevenson. Don't say Stevenson.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so close. Then. Camber, last week, you and the other Nelson spoke about one of the show Ask Reddit something or others was about having a time loop for your life, like a Groundhog Day-esque thing, but for you restart at 15 or something like that.
Yep.
I also recently watched the new season of The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay.
Got through that bad boy in like two nights. It's not many episodes, like 8 episodes. Anywho, in that season, they play the song Baby Shark lots of times.
Yep.
And I had this thought. I want to know, right, because we thought about the idea that if you're living your life over and over again, you could probably steal a few creative things yourselves, you know?
Yeah.
And redo them. You could be Tay-Tay, theoretically.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to know is, do you think you could introduce the world to Baby Shark and make it as successful as it is now?
It's so interesting that you bring this up, and I did not plan this, Nelson, but this is a perfect segue for self-promotion.
Oh.
In our latest episode of Cancel Movie Report,
in
fact, this is the one that will be coming out on Thursday with our special guest, Zach Rowan from Auntie Donna this week. We talk about the movie Yesterday, which is a similar premise, which is the whole world forgets who the Beatles are. So this guy writes all the Beatles songs and becomes a megastar. But what's really interesting about that movie is the original version of that movie that was sold and then rewritten without the original writer's involvement was almost the opposite. It's about this guy, the whole world forgets who the Beatles are. So he goes, oh my God, I can write all the Beatles music. But it's kind of about how it doesn't matter if you've got the best songs in the world.
Right.
There's so much that goes into the right time, the right circumstance, luck into becoming famous.
Yeah.
But in the original version of Yesterday, he doesn't become famous, even though he has all of the songs of the Beatles. Because it just doesn't, it's not right for him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And then they rewrote it because they were like, actually, it's more fun if he just becomes super famous.
Also, the thing is, Richard Curtis, who rewrote it and kind of almost stole it from him.
Yeah.
He's only known success in his whole career. And the original writer's like, Richard Curtis doesn't get that. Like, sometimes you're just not successful even if you've got really good stuff. To him, he met Rowan Atkinson in college.
Oh, God. Yeah.
They've just been successful ever since. So he didn't really get this premise.
He's like, why doesn't everybody just be successful like me?
Which is so funny to rewatch it now under that lens where you're like, oh, yeah, he does just become incredibly successful and famous right away.
Interesting.
So anyway, what I'm saying is listen to Cancel Movie Report.
Listen to Cancel Movie Report and don't start singing the lyrics of Baby Shark in your head.
No.
Oh, boy.
Actually, speaking of cross-promotion, Nelson, you were on Welcome to Patchwork recently.
I was.
And you did wonderful job on bringing the band from the inside, Nelson, because you were quite awful on that show. So.
I really tanked it for them.
I will say you tell a great story with an epic twist in that episode. Very good. Very much enjoyed it. And the fact that you've been sitting on that, even I didn't know this.
Yeah. Fantastic. I honestly just kept it to myself.
Because we milk every aspect of our life for this show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sort of a husk of a person through this podcast. I've got nothing left after everything comes out of my mouth. Okay. Anyway, let's get into The first Reddit on Reddit. This is... I gotta save that one for a minute.
Okay.
This is in hypothetical situation,
Okay.
and it was by OKCount7038. Would you rather have to fight a gorilla once a year or 3 roosters every single time you get in your car?
Here's my dilemma.
Yeah.
A gorilla does have the very real threat of death.
Yeah.
Whereas I am confident I could fight 3 roosters.
Yeah.
So it's every time obviously we need to start looking for loopholes.
Yeah.
Every time, here's what I'm going with, Nelson.
Yeah.
Every time I get in my car.
Don't have
If
to own
I
your own
just
car.
sign the deed of my car and registration
Yeah.
to you,
Oh, yeah.
I don't own that car anymore.
Yeah. But joke's on you. I've just gone and sold it. So,
Yeah, that is the threat. That is the real threat.
Yeah. Because
Do you think-
every time I got in, the roosters attacked me. I was like, this guy's useless to me.
Do you think the roosters abide by, like, you know, the car registration database of this country?
Who
Or do you
owns
think
the
they're vibing he gets into
vehicle?
that car a lot? That's his car.
No, I think you've got 3 roosters that are actually just walking. They follow you around your entire life.
Yeah.
Just waiting for you to get in any car.
Oh, so even if I catch an Uber or something.
You catch an Uber, they're fighting you. Not the driver there.
Okay. And I guess
You know what? Public transport too. Let's put that in there.
What are the rules of a fight between me and the gorilla? Because if I have a year to prep,
Yeah, I reckon you've got more prep time.
I can bring weapons, right?
I think there has to be prep time. Otherwise, you're going to die to the gorilla 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah. If it's fist fighting, I have no chance.
Yeah.
Here's a question I didn't
But
think
I
I'd
don't
ever...
think you should have too much time either. Because then it's like, if it's like, it's going to show up on this day at this time, you're like, well, I'll just make sure I have a gun handy at that time. I think we need to, like, you need to, maybe you just get like 2 hours notice.
Shit, okay. Right, yeah. You cannot get a gun in 2 hours in this country.
Yeah.
So that does
you
make
can't
it...
really
What
hold
can
one.
I get in 2 hours? I guess I'll go down to a hardware store and get an axe or something.
Well, just be in the hardware store when the gorilla shows up. You've got lots of tools at your disposal.
Maybe I'll just wait in the police station.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. No, actually, what'd be funnier is if this nobody else can see the gorilla.
Have you ever seen the movie It Follows?
Don't know. No.
It's this idea that, like, you get kind of cursed, and there's this entity that just always follows you. If it ever catches you, it'll kill you, but it moves very, very slowly.
Oh, yeah.
But it always looks like different people, but no one else can ever see it.
Okay, yeah.
I like to think that the gorilla it has the It Follows rules.
yeah.
Where you're like, oh my God, there it is. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then it just like cuts to you getting beaten up invisibly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think because I think roosters shouldn't be underestimated either.
Oh yeah, they'll hurt you.
I think like there's like cockfighting, right? That's all roosters and stuff, and I feel like they can be very vicious.
Yeah, but
not to mention the diseases.
They are. I'm very sorry to put this image in your head, Nelson, but they are stompable.
They are stompable. Well. See, one is stompable. What are you doing with the other two?
Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying like, as in, like a swift stomp will, if not kill, stop a rooster.
Yeah, but I'm saying is while you're swiftly stomping one, you've got other two that are attacking your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can't see the other two to stomp them.
Obviously, if this is my situation, I'm wearing pretty thick protective goggles whenever I'm in and around cars.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Because the eyes are what you need to protect the most.
Yeah,
and maybe I'm wearing a cup.
That's true. Yeah. What if you? I like the idea that you've just got this. You've got this suit that you hang outside of your car that you just like you'd have a normal dress suit in. You know, like I'm just gonna go to the shops. Go out to the car, unzip your little suit vest thing, put on these like really thick gloves,
start cracking
whack
my
on the
knuckles.
goggles. Yeah.
Here we go. Now, do they attack anyone that goes in my car? Because, like, what if I left at a station and someone tried to break into my car? Are they fighting them too? Because I don't mind that. That's a bit of security.
I think that's also people also can't see that. Oh no, you know what though? Yeah, okay. The Roosters they will attack a burglar,
Yeah.
but not just any passengers. You have to
passengers are safe.
You have to welcome people into your car.
Yeah, so maybe they attack whoever's driving.
Yeah.
Getting into the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Okay. What would I pick? I want the gorilla to be visible to others because then other people might help me.
Yeah. You've probably got way less chance of survival if the gorilla can only see you.
Because if I'm swinging an axe at a gorilla, people are like, well, he's trying to fight that gorilla right? If I'm swinging an axe at seemingly nothing, people might shoot me still.
Yeah, they might tackle you to the ground.
Yeah.
And then you're incapacitated while the gorilla stomps on your head. See, to you, the gorilla thinks you're stompable.
Yeah. That's I'm a rooster to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I had 2 hours notice, I would probably go to where's the biggest police station I could get to in 2 hours from here. I'd work that out because I think they would maybe have an armory.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I need you to all surround me. I need you all surround me with your weapons because something's coming.
Do you know what would be funny is the first time you do this, they're like, all right, who's this psycho? What's he talking about? Then all of a sudden a gorilla shows up and they're like, whoa,
I like
boy.
It just smashes through the wall of the police station, like the
Kool-Aid man. I think that's not a bad idea. I think the Roosters, honestly, they do seem more stompable, but they would just annoy me so much.
Yeah, it's so constant. I drive all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll kill a gorilla once.
I guess we're fighting a gorilla.
Yeah. It seems so much meaner, doesn't it? It's that weird thing in humanity where it's like the closer the animal is to intelligence and even more looking towards humans, it's like feels much worse.
Interesting question just before we wrap this up. You only have to fight the gorilla, but so I guess as soon as the gorilla like backs off, the fight's over.
It's not necessarily to death.
But it also says the same. It doesn't say kill roosters. So could you just kick the roosters out of your car?
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
So maybe you're just like, hey, get out of here with you.
Yeah. You drive a convertible.
Yeah.
And you just really quickly take off as soon as you get it. You do a lot of hand waving to begin with and then floor it. Then they fly at the back.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit was cross-posted to us by Go On Emotionally, but it was originally by Mindless Bike 2812. If humans could have one additional sense, what would you want it to be and why?
Okay. I don't want the one from the movie. That seems scary to me. The Sixth Sense. Yeah,
the Sixth Sense is not helpful because the other thing is there'd be so many ghosts around.
It would honestly imagine it would actually maybe be useful when you're buying like a house. Because if you go into a house and there's just like 100 dead people in that house, you're like,
yeah,
what's happening here?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And the real estate agent is like, nothing at all. Very suspicious.
Six. I wouldn't want the dead people one. That seems annoying. Though it did help. I think they did solve a crime in that movie. They worked out who murdered a girl. So I guess it is useful in some ways.
Okay, it is
because then
good.
the ghost could just be like, "He did it."
Yeah, that's true. There really isn't a challenge, is there? There wouldn't be any murder anymore, I don't think.
No.
That's a good thing. Or at least, no, there would still be murders, but every murderer would be convicted, probably.
Yeah. You just get ghosts walking into police stations.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, all right, I've just been murdered. My wife caught me cheating and she killed us both.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, fill out this statement. Oh, you can't. Oh. Actually, that is the worst part of that Sixth Sense thing, is that the kid sees them as if they are totally real.
Yeah.
Like, as in, they're not incorporeal.
No.
That would be so annoying to not be able to distinguish just in a crowd who is a ghost and who isn't.
Yeah.
You'd have a lot more people running into each other, I reckon. Especially if there was so many ghosts around because there's so many dead people. Yeah. That eventually you'd just be like running down the street. It would be natural to just run through people because you're like, well, the percentage-wise, the chances are I'm going to be running into a ghost.
And I feel like if I'm feeling a bit unhealthy, I feel like more people are going to run into me because they'll be like, oh, he's probably dead. Look at him.
Yeah,
he's all pale and sweaty. He's probably dead.
Yeah, that's right. People might make assumptions. Cool. Okay, another sense though. I was thinking, what if people sometimes claim that they have this sense already, but sometimes that sense can be off. What if we all had built-in gaydars?
Oh yeah. I don't think my gaydar's that good.
Yeah. I don't.
What would be the net benefit to society?
I think it would. Do you know what? Because I would say there's a lot of closeted gay people who are against gay people's rights, or at least probably more so in history. I'd say there was.
Yeah.
You know, there's like no shortage of stories of men who have married women and also super anti-gay, and then they end up, for one reason or another, ends up coming out that they're actually gay. It's like, it would stop that. I feel like you would be able to maybe just knowing that there's more around you would actually bring some sort of respect or acceptance more.
Yeah. Do you think it would help with societal stigmas around homosexuality?
I think so.
Because the flip side of this is coming out is a very personal thing.
But it wouldn't be anyway. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. But
you only have to now because it's only a difficult thing for somebody to come out now because
of society, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so this would presumably help society just be far more accepting. Therefore, that issue hopefully is non-existent. People don't need to worry about that. But if sexuality is a spectrum...
Yeah, actually, that's what I was thinking just then. Yeah.
Because it's like, what if someone's pansexual?
Yeah.
Does how tuned in is the radar?
Well, I guess it's kind of like any other sense, where most people have like a general hearing range, but some people can hear really well. So you have like a general idea that somebody's like kind of gay, but you might not necessarily know the extent of their gayness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they would differ from person to person.
I'd like to think it would help society.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what I think.
The last thing we want, as a show, Nelson, is more troubles for the LGBTQI plus community. We do not wish that upon them.
They've gone through enough.
But in that way, it seems weird that we're like, we just want to identify you.
Yeah, that's bad. I've just realized how much this could be used for evil, actually.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, we have gone the positive, like, oh my God, like maybe this would help society just get over any stigmas. But if we're looking at the dark side,
Yeah.
it could also help hate crimes a lot.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so far we've come up with two not very good additional senses.
Seeing dead people in gaydar are the two choices of 14-year-old boys. And not men, like we are in our 30s.
We are men. Now, let's give you a manly answer.
Yeah, the sense that bears are around.
Yeah. Or gorillas.
Or gorilla. Yeah, that would make good sense, actually. What about a spidey sense?
Oh, yes.
Here's a general sense of danger.
A spidey sense. Yes, that'd be so good. Although, do you reckon it'd be interesting, though, in actual reality of using that where, because we develop senses from caveman era type things where it's like, we've got to hear our predators coming and yada, yada. So I think it would be funny that if the spidey sense didn't adapt well to modern day, and so with it just like cars going past, your spidey sense is like, or you're just driving, your spidey sense is just going constantly because like this is so, oh my God, we're going so fast, this is so dangerous, at any moment you could die.
Or just like given a general political climate of like, well, war could be imminent. That's technically a threat. So you're just always just on edge, like, oh no,
here we go.
It's kind of bad. Yeah. What about another superhero sense? What about the Daredevil radar sense? And like I would say more specifically in the comic books, it kind of talks about like how it doesn't matter whether there's a wall with big locked doors or whatever. He knows exactly what's in there.
Yeah.
That does not matter to him. He can actually perceive what is in any kind of space around here.
Yeah. Well, that limits privacy dramatically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's like, you're worried about accidentally walking in on your parents having sex. This you'll just know.
You'll know. But maybe that makes your spidey sense go as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in danger. Don't go in there.
Yes. Don't get close to this room.
That's true. We never really delve into the fact that Daredevil could be a huge perv.
He's probably...
You're hanging out outside the locker room a lot, but you're outside, so that's fine.
That's fine.
You're outside the women's locker room. That's not a problem. Don't go in there, though, because there's women naked, and we wouldn't want you to see that without them knowing.
Yeah. I mean, well, he is blind anyway. So
that's true.
I reckon he's probably just walking in there like, don't worry, I'm blind. Oh, where am I? I mean, is what I meant to say.
Don't worry, all 8 of you are fine. How do you know there's 8 of us?
Yeah, I think he's a real creep. No, that's not about it. There's always a dark side to every character.
Yeah.
Batman kills people or something.
I think famously he's got a rule against that.
Yeah. I saw the movie, Camber. He kills everybody.
Also, that when he says, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah,
he's kind of killing him.
That's basically
he's letting that train run into that building with the man inside.
Yeah. All right, Camber, let's move into Today I Advise.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the intro to that?
Today I Learned.
And also sometimes advice.
This Today I Learned is by Dusk Desiree. Today I learned that in the 16th century France, Martin Guerre vanished for 8 years, only for an imposter to take his place, fooling even his wife. The real Martin eventually returned during the court trial, just as the imposter was almost found innocent of not being an imposter.
Well, okay. There's so many questions here.
This is an insane period of time.
Because I was like, oh, Martin's done it. He's got away. But he's returning in the trials like, oh no, was he kidnapped?
It's unclear.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe he just ran away from his
That's
wife.
right. But like he would need to have organized an imposter for that. But then if he's coming back for a trial to be like, no, I'm the real Martin, then it seems like he didn't.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe he was like, okay, I'm done with my life, but I can't just hang up the towel. I've got a wife and kids, maybe. So I'll get somebody who looks like me to take my place.
Yeah.
And then, but then gets FOMO after years or something, sees this man achieve things that he could never. And then he's like, oh, hey, wait a second, I want that life back. Then he walks in. I don't know how you explain that to your wife. Actually, how does your wife explain that to you? She totally trusted this imposter. I can't imagine getting somebody so close, regardless of how long I've potentially been married to somebody. I imagine in the 16th century, this is very, maybe they didn't see each other that much. But I'm thinking if I'm getting married to somebody, I only need like a few hours with them to know who they are, definitely.
Okay. I've pulled up some information about this because I had too many questions. And even the more official stuff, I mean, I'm only on the Wikipedia, is very vague. So it seems like Martin left his family, like abandoned his family.
Okay, just abandoned. That's so funny.
And the family then changed their name. And he left them in 1548. And then in the summer of 1556, a man arrived who claimed to be the long-lost Martin. So there was like years and years between this.
In between.
Martin got back into the family, and then he had 2 children with the wife.
Oh, my God!
And then in 1559, so what's that, 3 years later, villagers accused the returnee of not only being an imposter, but also arson. So he was actually really arrested for doing crimes.
He was an arsonist. But they were like, well, we'll do the 2 court cases at once, I suppose.
Yeah, wow. And then when the real one came back, he had a wooden leg.
Oh, my God. This is wild.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre how things just seem to happen in the past. That you're like, that's impossible. That is impossible to have happened.
So the real guy moved to Spain, where he served in the militia for the cardinal and subsequently in the army. And then he lived at a monastery before returning to his wife. The reason for his return at the time of the trial is unknown. Initially, he rejected his wife's apologies, maintaining that she should have known better than to take another man.
Yeah, obviously.
But also, that's rich from him.
I mean, yeah, okay, it's pretty rich from him. Okay. But also, no, wait, I'm not blaming the wife for moving on. I'm blaming the wife for assuming that was definitely her husband. If they already had kids too, that's bizarre. Okay. There's no, how do you not know?
Okay, here's the thing. If Alan went missing and then turned up 8 years later saying that she was Alan, how confident are you in? And remember, at this time, no photographs.
Yeah,
no video.
Yeah, like I would just get out a photograph and be like, let me just compare.
Yeah, how good is your memory of someone that 8 years later you could be like, I can definitely tell. Because when you first told me this, I was like, oh, what, did he come back like a week later or something? But it's like, okay, 8 years is a long time to have been missing before the imposter came.
Yeah, now I'm thinking, crap, I don't know.
Which is why I think it's hard. She's like, you idiot. Can't believe it.
8 years. I'm trying to actually think of, this is a very difficult thing to think of, but somebody that
you haven't seen in 8 years.
I haven't seen in 8 years. Yeah. And to be like, would if someone looked like them
Yeah.
came up to me. No, you know what? There's some people in my head that I'm thinking that I used to work with that I'm like, I'm sure
You would
if
know.
somebody similar to them came up to me, I'd be like, no, you're not that person.
You're an imposter. You're an imposter and an arsonist, sir.
And I haven't had a child with them either. Like, there's a lot more here going on. I don't know. That's crazy. I kind of want to like go back. If I could time travel, I'd go back to that because I could just be anything. It seems like, I feel like there's lots of stories, the 15th, 16th century. You can just you can just claim that you're whoever.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like there's a lot of imposter stories. Somebody coming in and being like, I'm the Prince of Zanzibar and give me all your wealth. And they're like, oh, the Prince of Zanzibar is here. They're just on board with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like the movie The Man Who Invented Lying. Like maybe lying wasn't a thing for many, many years and just slowly developed. And then people used it because
they're like, if he says he's Martin, I guess he's Martin.
He's Martin. Can't deny it. All right, Kemba, let's move on again into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
Wait, before we get into the whimsical shower thoughts,
Sure.
I just remembered one that I was meant to go back to.
Yeah.
After our very first one of fighting with a gorilla. There's another one in r/science, and I just want to leave everybody with this. Not because it's a nice thing to do, it's just because I don't want to be alone in now knowing and consuming this information.
Okay.
It's in r/science, and it was by Miss Figgy. Scientists find humans age dramatically in 2 bursts at 44, then 60. Everyone just have that in the back of your mind when you're 43 and 59.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, what a horrible thing to know. And 44 is so specific. If they just had said like 40 and 60,
in your
I'm
40s
like,
and your 60s.
it's a rough thing. I'm not going to know exactly. 44 is like, no. We've got it down to the date. You tick over to 44, you age dramatically.
I picture me sitting around a table on my 44th birthday eve.
Yeah.
With a little cake in front of me, and everyone goes, "Happy birthday to you," and I blow out the candles, and everyone goes, "Oh God, look at him!"
Your teeth fall out. You're like, "Oh no." Anyway, terrifying. That's just what people can look forward to. Here's a shower thought. It's by Spare Substance 5003. Silver nitrate is also caustic to humans, not just werewolves.
Yeah, I think about this with vampires as well. They're like, well, if you want to kill them, then here's one thing that'll work.
Yeah.
A stake through the heart should do the trick.
Yeah.
It's like, that'll work on most things, I think.
That'll work on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I like the idea that kids are running around with guns filled with silver nitrate bullets and they're like, ha ha ha, shooting each other. It's like, it doesn't matter.
It's like, if you want to stop a zombie, I guess you could blow its head off. Oh, that works, does it?
Yeah. That's good. Good to know.
That's not specific to that particular creature.
Yeah. Also, I imagine that you could blow the head off a werewolf too, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Does anybody talk about that?
No, or a stake through the heart.
Or a stake through that. Has anybody tried these things? Like, I can imagine it's more difficult to get a stake through the heart of a werewolf than it is a vampire. They just
Could
seem
you
more...
shoot a vampire through the heart? Is it the heart getting penetrated that stops
Isn't there
it?
a funny thing in, like, Blade where he has wooden bullets or something insane like that?
Oh, possibly.
I swear I've seen something super dumb like that before.
Yeah, right.
You
mean super rad?
Super rad, because Wesley Snipes was doing it. Okay, here's another one. This is by Crunchy Shamster. I bet there are people who drive a Tesla every day who have no idea who Nikola Tesla was or why it's ironic that they're named after him. I can't bet. I'm not interested in this show.
Okay, yeah.
But I am interested in the comments that follow. Sunstang replies, I bet they don't even know his name is spelled Nicola with a K.
Yes, they have written the let's say the feminine version of Nicola.
Nicola.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Mr. J.I. has replied, I bet there are people who post who don't even know what irony is. This is so good. It's such a double whammy.
I did have that thought when you read it. Yeah.
So funny.
How much damage to the word irony do you think this song did? Because she's throwing out all kinds of stuff that's like ironic and not ironic, and people are like, I guess anything's ironic.
Anything's ironic. I think here's the problem. Actually, I think is that we haven't invented the words yet. That is like when it's raining on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Or where you've got 10,000 spoons and all you need is a knife.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's ironic.
Oh, that is ironic, isn't it?
That is ironic.
But we need something for like in between things.
Yeah. We need something that means it seems ironic, but it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've all got those things that like, this seems kind of ironic, but I understand that it's actually not ironic.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
Smyrony.
Smyrony. So similar to irony? Is that what it's meant to be?
Yeah. But technically not. Yeah.
I love the idea that I know that people always say that Elon Musk like created Tesla, but I think he kind of brought into it, right? Like towards its beginning, he kind of brought into it. But I like the idea that maybe they were pitching to him. And they said, look, this is an electronic vehicle, runs off battery power, and we thought it would be good to name it after Nikola Tesla, who did a lot of good in that. And Elon goes, that's ironic.
Yeah. I like it.
And they all went, yes.
Yes. Yes, Elon, you are correct. Okay. Here's another one. This is by Marinated Pikachu. That's funny.
Okay.
We should just start to eat endangered species instead of pigs and cows, because then we'll immediately start breeding them by the billions.
I mean, they could try this with pandas, but the problem with pandas is they're not having sex.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would try to mate whales if we could, but it's a very difficult process. People are eating whales and sharks, and we're not really doing anything to help that out.
Is the Japanese whale breeding program as big as the Japanese whaling hunting program? I don't know. I don't know whether they're even.
Yeah, one costs money, one earns money. It's a little bit of a difficult scenario here. Yeah, I think it's funny how quickly we would just if tomorrow somebody was like, you know what, let's try this. So they were like, we've made it legal to eat elephant. I don't know what exactly is endangered, but elephants seem endangered. I think tomorrow we'd be out of elephant.
Yeah,
we consume way too fast. Nobody's thinking like long term, like, all right, let's farm these suckers. We've got cows for that. Yeah. They're like, I'll quickly eat the elephant and be one of the few people in the world who can claim to legally have eaten elephant, and then I'll just go back to eating beef.
And I mean, hasn't there been some evidence that suggests that the woolly mammoth was overfarmed? Like to its extinction?
Yeah, that's true. I think they did theorize that.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like because they're so big that you can't eat all of them.
They'd eat a tiny bit and then
the rest just kind of wasted and spoiled before they could eat it. So yeah, it's like there is probably a slew of perfect animals that are the exact right size for farming for food industry, and not every animal is going to fit in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind trying some woolly mammoth, Cambo.
Whatever happened? There was talk in like the late 90s. They're like, they can clone a woolly mammoth now.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Do it. I double dog dare ya. No, it's a slippery slope to dinosaurs, Cambo. That's why.
Yeah. Oh no, we accidentally cloned a T-Rex. Oh look out, it's got out.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny if actually it just started with woolly mammoths? where we're like, don't worry, we've only bred female woolly mammoths. Yeah, I think we should clone him and eat him. That's all I'm saying. Okay, mate, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my god, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. I was just getting out my notes app, Care which you will need to do also, just by the way. Mm-hmm. And I've realized I forgot to get Parmesan cheese yesterday. It was on my shopping list. I'm actually very annoyed about that. So, okay. This is what happened recently.
Yeah.
I had an idea for a podnapping.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Ellen, hey, this is my idea for a podnapping. What do you reckon? Mm-hmm. And she was like, nah, don't do that. But I don't have anything else, Cameron. See, this is what we're doing.
Great.
And in fact, I'm actually now starting to think that I may have done this before. I don't even know.
Based on what I can see, possibly.
Yeah, I think maybe we have. And I'm probably going to say what I potentially did last time too, which is, look, the idea is that listeners can listen along at home. Mm-hmm. Play along at home, rather. Sorry, not listen along. They're already listening along.
Yeah, the listeners can listen to the whole thing if they want.
Yeah. I think this is the idea.
Yep.
We're going to play the game Scatagories.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And Scatagories, for those who don't know, you have a list of like topics, mm-hmm. and then you also traditionally roll a dice. It gives you a random letter. And then you have to go through the list within a time limit and get things that start with that letter. So you could, one of the things might be like car models, and the letter is R. And so then you would go,
yeah,
Rolls Royce. Okay, yeah, go. You have to write that down. So the idea is you write it down on a piece of paper, then at the end, you score against each other. If you both get the same answer, you're out. Mm-hmm. You don't get any points.
Yeah.
If you get if your answer is unique, you just get 1 point. But then also if you get a double letter thing, what's it called? Like two words that start with the same letter. What do you call that?
Alliteration.
Yeah, I think there's another word for it there. Is there? Anyway, yeah, sure. The alliteration is fine, I guess. So if, for example, you said,
Rolls Royce.
Oh, Rolls Royce! I did it. That's so funny. You would get 2 points because you get it. And so I think the idea is this: when we stop listening now, listener. Well, not now. Wait till I've explained this. The idea is that you play along with us. So wait until you're at a time we can sit down with a paper and pen. Mm-hmm. I'll give you all the topics. You write them down. And then before we start, we'll start all together. Okay. And then you can score yourself along with us at the end of it and see how you did. So the problem with this, why it's not good for every other listener who isn't going to go to this effort, is that we're going to need like 4 minutes of silence. It's usually longer, but I was like, I feel like we could stretch it to 4 minutes. What do you reckon? Or 3?
So at one point when we start writing stuff down, there's going to be some silence.
There's going to be silence. Yeah. But we need to leave the silence in there for the others that are joining us and playing with us at the same time.
Yep. That's only a couple of clicks of the fast forward.
Yeah. That's only if you don't want to be that if you don't want to join in. You could also probably just remember some of the categories and things.
Would we consider editing the silence out and people can pause the podcast?
I don't trust anybody to pause for the right amount of time. We got a bunch of cheaters listening. I don't know if you knew that. Okay. Maybe I'll do 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's pretty fast, though, for us, just by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me also get this.
So you just need one of each category?
Yeah. You just need one. One.
Yeah. It just needs to be from the letter that.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the topics.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to open up the notes on my desktop. I think it's going to be quicker. Typing on my desktop is going to be quicker than my phone.
Yes, that is true, actually. I'm going to do the same now. What have I got? Got Word. Is this interesting to listen to?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Okay, I'm going to put this in front of your face. So.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so the categories are vegetables, things you throw away, occupations, appliances,
Yep.
cartoon characters, store names,
Yep.
things at a football game,
Yep.
personality traits, things that are cold, song titles,
Yep.
and villains/monsters.
Okay.
Now, I will allow people to pause at this moment, perhaps write these down, go back and write them down. But then when you come back to this point, you have to start.
Pausing.
No more pausing. All right. So I'm going to start a timer. I'm going to turn the volume up. So
the timer starts before we get the letters.
Well, I'm going to try and do it at the same-ish time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. In fact, I'll give us an extra second with the letter. Okay. The letter is R.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know the car I'm going with.
Oh, yeah, shit. Oh, no, it's not one of the things.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to mumble so people can
that's a good idea.
ASMR. But it is actually really hard to concentrate.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Yes. Oh, shit. Some of these you think you should be able to get. I'm struggling with store name. Okay.
You say. Okay. Some of these answers, taking a shot.
Yeah. I think it's fine to take a shot and stuff. Oof. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, taking a stab with that one.
How much time we got left?
I was still at minute 30. Oh, my God, we're doing fine. Okay. Okay. I'm missing 2, and I want to go back to some that are crap.
Okay. Oh, no, I just realized one of mine's wrong. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's not the name of a store.
Sometimes it's about convincing somebody that it is.
Yeah. This is one of the worst podcastings I've done.
Yeah, but like, I'm really reaching the bottom of the barrel. I'm past the bottom of the barrel, really.
Okay.
getting pretty close to the point in 10 seconds, Cambo.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, God. We're done.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
All right, cheaters. Put your pens down.
I don't like this.
Yeah, this is...
Okay.
Okay.
I should not have said I'll come back to vegetables.
I got one instantly for vegetables, and then I
Okay,
thought that
that's
you
good.
would get it, actually.
Oh, maybe. I was like, vegetables, nothing comes to mind. I'll come back to it.
Yeah. I got radish.
Oh, yeah, radish is a great one. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't write it.
So you got nothing. That's all right.
No,
I'm
nothing.
on one, Cambo. Okay, things you throw away.
Okay, I was happy with my answer for this.
Okay,
but
what did you get?
It is very possible we thought the same thing. I said receipt.
Oh, okay. Well, originally I had rubbish.
Oh.
But then I was like, but that seems like one that you might go for. So
No, I throw away a receipt whenever I get it.
yeah, that's true. I'm gonna the receipt's good.
Yeah.
I went with rubber band that has snapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that 1 point each?
Yeah, 1 point each. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Occupations. I went with the first thing that came into my mind. By the way, I forgot to mention that you can't do duplicates, but oh well, whatever. I forgot that rule.
Okay.
Occupation. What'd you get?
I wrote down restaurant critic.
Restaurant
And let me tell you, restaurant
critic. Not a
Is it
food
job-
critic.
Is it, no. A restaurant critic.
They're really critical of. They just
The decor.
They walk into the restaurant. They're like, I don't like the look of
I
this
mean,
place.
They review the food as well because the restaurant serves food. They review the
It's a
restaurant.
full thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm gonna Google restaurant critic,
Nah,
and I say restaurant critic. Okay. What is a restaurant critic?
Okay, done.
And then it says a food critic. It instantly starts.
I think it's a regional. I think in Australia we call them restaurant critics, and maybe other countries call them food critics.
Oh no! Okay, I'm going to read you. This is the second one.
Don't read me anything.
No, you want this one, Camber.
Okay,
it says,
good. Read ahead.
I'm only reading the very first part. Like the Google's little cutout bit. The Age, which is a newspaper. The Age restaurant critic Besha Riddell reflects on a year. Blah blah blah. They are, in fact, a restaurant critic. All right, Cambo, you get
I've
a
always
point.
loved the age and the politics behind it.
Okay, you get a point. I went with radio operator.
Oh, okay.
Not so common anymore, but I
Yeah.
think they do, in fact, exist. All right.
I work at a radio station. I don't know if anyone's job title is radio operator.
I was thinking more of the like switchboard women who, like old school radio operator.
Yeah.
Okay, appliances.
I didn't write anything down.
I put down. What do you think about radio for an appliance? Is that an appliance? What's the definition of an appliance?
I will say the store that you used to rent appliances from was called Radio Rental.
It was too.
Yeah.
Appliance.
Is that too close to the occupation?
Definition. Let's read the definition of appliance. I know I did almost do the duplicate there, but I was like, I've got radio operator and radio. Okay.
Yeah.
A device or piece of equipment designed to perform a specific task. That is so vague. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give myself that one.
Yeah. Well, then like a ratchet. Like,
yeah.
Written
Just so many things. Yeah.
What's the difference between a tool and an appliance in that case?
Yeah.
Can I tell you about bad definitions?
Yeah.
This morning, Stacey said of putting tuna from a can into a Tupperware for the cat.
Yeah.
She decanted it. And I said,
That is.
is that decanter? Like, what's the definition of decanter? I thought it had to do with like air, like letting air in. And she goes,
You can
"Isn't
do
it
it with
just
wine and
when you're
stuff."
transferring one thing to the other?" And
Ah.
I asked Google.
Yeah.
I said, "What's the definition of a decanter?" And they said, "Decanter, to decanter a wine."
What? That is insane.
It's like that has not helped at all.
Did you work out what it is now? I'm curious.
There's there's actually two
A
definitions.
stoppered glass container in short.
Well, yeah, a decanter is an object, but there is the process of transferring it from one thing to the other to do with the biomes changing.
Right.
But it said the alternate definition is to temporarily move from something from one storage to another.
Oh, it's even got here when I looked at temporarily transfer in brackets people to another place. That's to decant. But I think it's definitely every other thing I've read is normally referring to a wine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
you can't decant tuna is what I'm going to say. Okay, anyway, let's keep going.
I got no points for appliance.
Okay. Cartoon characters, I was pretty happy with.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I got Roger Rabbit.
Ah, very good. Oh,
The
2
double!
points. Yeah. I said Randy Marsh from South Park.
Okay, yeah, good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Store names. I've gone for something super Australian. What did you get?
Yeah. I'll take you through the process.
Yeah.
I've also gone for something very specifically Australian, so I do wonder if we have the same thing. I was like, oh, Real Cheap Auto.
Ah.
And then I was like, it's called
Right.
Super Cheap Auto.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But then I went with, there's a very small independent grocer here called Renaissance.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've seen that. I'll give you that.
It's actually right near you.
Yes.
There's about 3 of them in Melbourne, I think, but there's one quite near where you live.
I've gone for the Reject Shop. Oh, did I say the Reject Shop? Oh my God. I just wrote Reject Shop.
But in your mind, you
But
knew
then
it was
I
actually
said the Reject Shop. Oh no. I almost went with Rebel Cambo. I should have
Rebel.
done that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rebel's great.
okay. I don't get a point for that.
Yeah,
That sucks. Stupid idiot. Okay, things in a football game. What'd you get for this one?
I went with really yummy chips.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to give you that one.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't think the chips are yummy?
Yeah, because you could put really in front of anything on this list.
I
pretty much.
wouldn't dare if I didn't believe it.
Really yummy corn. Why didn't you put that for a vegetable?
At a football game. Oh, yeah, for a vegetable. Yeah. Can I change my
I'm going to
really
deny
good microwave.
you.
That's my appliance.
Yeah. And actually, let's be honest, more than anything, you never get really yummy chips in a football game. They're always like soggy and rubbish. You're like,
I tell you,
these are
I
average football game chips.
I went. This will surprise you, Nelson. I went to a local football game recently.
Oh, yes.
And they have a canteen there.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could think about was how good the chips smelled. And I was like, oh my God, if there's any place to ever get a bucket of chips,
Yeah.
and you kind of want them to be a bit shitty, I feel like, you know,
For
what
nostalgia, not because it's
Yeah.
actually good.
I mean? Yeah. They're in the same bucket that just says food on it.
It's because you managed to get, like when you were younger, you'd go to a tuck shop and you'd have a couple of bucks to spend and you could only get the chips. And that felt really good when you were under the age of 10.
And then you're like, I guess the top layer of chips will have sauce.
yeah, that's right.
And it's pretty bleak down at the bottom there.
And even just salt. I remember, I feel like the traditional bit is like you get a bit of salt and sauce on the top chips, and then any chips underneath are just bland and taste great.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
what did you get then?
I got rugby ball.
That's not a football though; it's a rugby ball.
Yeah, but people call football rugby because what are you calling football?
What do I call football?
Yeah,
Football.
Yeah, but I mean, what football are you talking about?
In this country, I'm talking about Australian rules.
Yeah.
Other places, I'm talking about soccer, the world's game.
And
I'd only ever call it rugby.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about I don't even know if people call rugby football, do they?
Isn't it called a rugby ball?
What? Well, that's what I put.
Yeah.
Football, rugby. Good old giggle. Rugby, football. Can you call it? Okay. I'm not going to give myself a point. I don't feel confident about it. Okay. Personality traits.
I put resentful.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I reckon that's good. I put righteous.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, thank you.
Put them all there.
Yeah. Okay, things that are. Oh, I should come back to this one. Gambo,
Yeah.
I think mine depends on. I think mine is technically correct.
Yeah. Well,
If you consider anything is cold is not room temperature.
Well, yeah. Well, I need to just find with you when water gets frozen. What do you call it?
I'm going to say really cold ice.
I call it really cold water.
Really cold water.
But
For the rest of the answers, are you just going to put it's like you worked out halfway through that you can put really at the start.
In all honesty, I didn't put anything down here.
Okay. I put rain. Think about it, Gabby.
You can have hot rain though.
What do you mean you can have a hot rain?
Have you never heard of sunshine showers?
It evaporates. Yeah, but the rain is colder than the surrounding area. It's
colder. But I would say rain is like, I mean, you can have cold rain.
Oh, thanks.
Damn it.
I didn't say that the rain was called cold all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
That's things that can be cold. Oh my god, open up a world of possibilities.
I'm going to give myself half a point.
I'm happy with half a point.
Okay. Song titles.
Okay, I wrote the letter R and then I ran out of time.
Oh, really? I thought you'd be good with this one.
That's when because it's so far down the list.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just quickly I was like, if I don't have anything, I'm quickly going to something else.
Yeah.
I went with respect.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and villains and monsters. So you didn't get anything for this one?
Well, I actually did. When you said 10 seconds left, I went, oh, shit, and I went right to the last one.
Okay, that's good, yeah.
This one, there is... They can be real, right?
Yeah, sure.
I wrote Rasputin.
Okay, yeah. I'll say villain, sure.
Yeah, I think
that's good.
He's causing all kinds of troubles in World War One, wasn't he?
Okay, this is what I think, Cambo. When I think of villain,
yeah,
I think of like bad people.
Right? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So
far, I'm with you.
What's a bad person? I'll tell you. A racist man.
Just a man is interesting. You could have just written racist person.
Oh, yeah.
But you think racist women are fine, apparently. Heroes, you say.
Yeah, I don't know where I've gone with that. I think it's because I felt like the villain or monster needed to be like I don't know, entity, a single thing. But yeah, you're right. I could have just written racist. So, but what you're saying is you're giving it to me.
You can have the other half of the point.
Okay, I get another. Get another point for that. Thank you very much. All right, Gabby. What'd you get? I got 9. I got 9 points.
I got 7.
All right. Good job, team. What did you get? Right into us.
No, we'll wait.
Oh.
We've waited before in this podcast. We'll wait again until someone writes in.
Okay. Well, this is going to be difficult when this isn't even out yet. There's going to be like plenty of emails that just come in that are like, hey, have you guys finished? You haven't released one for several months.
Okay, fine. Like, just write in afterwards then.
I suppose so.
We won't wait.
We're not obviously going to do the AMA because this episode's way too long. So right into your score.
By the way, the AMA this week is timely for last week. So by the time we get to it next week, it'll be like 2 weeks out of time.
Oh, it's really old. Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Just cast your minds back next week about 4 weeks ago when everyone was talking about the topic of the email. All right.
Oh, my God. You know what I realized I could have done for things that are cold? Reddit on Reddit podcast. Because we often have ice cold reviews and recommendations. Yeah. I think I'm already going to get a double point for that game, mate. Okay. Yes, if you'd like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com. You can also reach us at our subreddit and our Discord. The link is in the show notes.
Listen to Cancel Movie Report with Zach Ruane this week.
Yes.
Listen to Welcome to Patchwork. Let them know that the show is falling off a cliff now that we've been on it.
Yeah. Really drive that one. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later.